Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and daily transfer news update. And guys, there's plenty to get stuck into as always. Chelsea are closing in on a £40 million deal for Aston Villa striker Jhon Duran. But there's a bit of a twist in this one because apparently it's going to be a bit of a player swap deal. There will be players involved going the other way. We're going to dive into all the details of that. It's not a traditional swap deal in the sense of it, but Villa will be signing a player from Chelsea as a result of this deal. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. We're going to be diving into that. Obviously, we've got the latest on Michael Olise as well. Chelsea feeling very confident they can get a deal done for him. We're going to dive into that news. Maatsen is of interest to Aston Villa. They have inquired about his potential availability. Plus, more on the Olise deal as well, that Chelsea would be prepared to involve players should Crystal Palace want to use them. And Amanda Breyer and Trevor Chalobah are two players who could well be considered for that role. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in terms of player swapping going on here. You know, it must be something to do with the accounts, with the accounting stuff, whatever. You know, we know that Villa need to sell due to PSR, but it's an interesting one because these sort of player swap deals or players plus cash kind of deals you don't really see them that often. You really don't. So it must be a way that the accounting, it must be a way of that with the accounting. It must like look better on the books that way. I mean, that's the only way I can see it. I don't really understand it any other way. But yeah, Chelsea closing in on Jhon Duran. Aston Villa have inquired about Ian Maatsen. The Olise deal, more news on that one as well. So let's say hello to a few people in the chat, and then we're going to get cracking. Duran up front doesn't excite me at all. No, but you know what? It looks like it is gonna be that, and so we just got to accept it. You know, we can't change that at all. It is what it is, and we're just gonna have to back the guy and hope that he does well. Absolutely. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yep, Euro's starting later on today as well. Any update on the Maatsen Duran swap deal? Well, I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's specifically going to be Ian Maatsen that will be going to Aston Villa or not. But yeah, we're going to dive into the Duran stuff imminently. If they sell Duran, they need a number 2 striker, so Breyer makes sense. Yeah, it does, although they might not want him. They might be looking elsewhere. We just don't know. Yes, big up, Breyer. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, guys, run it up. Smash the like so you don't know what to do. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well. Details on the shirt giveaway for the 10K will be coming over the weekend, guys. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Details on the giveaway will be coming over the weekend. All right. So guys, run the likes up. 50 in the building already. Only 18 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get this up over 100 likes and subscribe to the channel if you are new round here. And let's dive into the main news from today so far. And that is that Chelsea are closing in on a deal for Aston Villa striker Jhon Duran. Okay. So, let's have a quick look at this now. So this was from Matt Law earlier today. It is believed that a deal between Chelsea and Aston Villa for Jhon Duran, which could be worth up to £40 million, is broadly agreed. But there are still a few hurdles to overcome. Now, Emery has been forced to agree to selling Duran because of PSR, whose potential is rated as being sky high at Villa. But obviously, so Villa are having to sell for PSR reasons. This is why they're having to get rid of Douglas Luiz as well in that deal with Illing Jr. and Weston McKennie plus cash. So yeah, breaking belief that yes, a deal between Chelsea and Villa is close for Jhon Duran. But surprisingly, it is what am I saying here? That the Jhon Duran deal would be a swap with other players. And Conor Gallagher will not be one of those players. We'll get into the swap side of things a little bit later on. But £40 million, I've got to be honest, up to 40 million, which hopefully means it's going to be heavily incentivized with add-ons. So maybe we're looking at like a 25 with 15 in add-ons. That could be better. Well, it could be better. It absolutely would be better. But if the base fee is nearer to sort of a £30 million, then I think it's a lot of money. I really do. And look, he's a striker with potential, but ultimately, let's be real here. You know, he's worth nowhere near that amount of money. But this is the market. This is the market that we're dealing with. This is the market we're dealing with, to be honest. You know, we've just got to accept the times. We paid, what, 32 million pounds for Nicholas Jackson based off, what, half a season at Villarreal last year. It's kind of the same thing, more or less, you could say. But then you've obviously got that Premier League tax on top. And ultimately, at the end of the day, potential seems to get a lot in this market. Potential seems to go for big money. We're about to drop, what, best part of 51 million pounds on a 17-year-old. Potential, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Look, obviously having Conference League is going to help on that regard. We can get more minutes there. We obviously signed remember when we signed Michy Batshuayi? It wasn't a million miles off that transfer fee either. Yeah, look, I'm skeptical about this, but I'm going to try and be as positive as possible on this front, because it is really important, guys, that we do try not to shit on this too much. Look, I get it; it's not great. What else have we got here? Broadly agreed. What's the update on Dacha Fofana? I don't think Dacha Fofana is going to be involved at all. But I think Dovbik's going to Atletico Madrid. He's closing in on a move to Atletico Madrid. It's not done yet by any accounts. So I think he wants to stay in La Liga, and Atletico Madrid are believed to be the closest to striking a deal for him. That's the kind of latest with Dovbik. Yes, big it up, guys. Big it up. Yes. Absolutely agree. But yeah, look, £40 million. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of add-ons involved in that deal. You would hope. But the more interesting thing is that so basically Chelsea have been given permission to discuss personal terms with Duran, with the striker's future also key to the Midlands club signing a player from Stamford Bridge. This is where the whole sort of swap element comes in. It's not going to be a traditional swap where, in terms of, we sign, you give us Duran and we give you cash plus someone else, or it's a straight player swap. I think what I'm ascertaining from it is that we'll sign Duran, but then it means that they can then sign a player from us afterwards, and it will be agreed upon who the player is. That's kind of what I'm reading into that. Maatsen, Telegraph Sport can reveal that as well as Conor Gallagher, Villa have inquired about Ian Maatsen, who spent the second half. Maatsen has a 35 release clause in his contract. Dortmund are not willing to meet it, which has opened the door for Villa and other clubs. Villa will only sign players from Chelsea this summer if Duran completes a move to Stamford Bridge. And the West London club are currently discussing personal terms and carrying out background checks on the Colombian. It is believed that a deal between the two clubs for Duran, which could be worth up to 40 million, is broadly agreed, but there are still hurdles to overcome. Chelsea would want to put 20-year-old Duran on a long incentivized contract rather than putting him straight on big wages. And they also want to be sure over his character. I mean, surely we would have looked at that beforehand, Surely we would have looked at that beforehand, about his character and whatnot. Duran has a reputation for being an unusual character, although Villa sources insist he has never missed training and is not considered to be a so-called bad lad. Villa manager Jhon has been forced to agree to selling Duran, whose potential is rated as sky high at the club because of PSR. That means they must bring money in to make signings and boost the squad. Yep. So Maatsen we know about. Chelsea midfielder Gallagher is also aware at the Euros and with England and made it clear he wants to concentrate on that rather than his future. Other than Villa, Spurs are interested in Gallagher. Other than negotiating with Villa and Duran, Chelsea will hold more talks with Crystal Palace over. So basically, there's going to be a situation where if we agree to sign Duran, which it looks like we're trying to get it done, then Villa are going to sign a player from us. And I don't know what player it's going to be. Maybe it could be Broja. Maybe it could be Chalobah. Maybe it could be Ian Maatsen. Maybe it could be, I don't know. I don't know who they want from us, but Maatsen cannot agree while he's at the Euros. Well, he can. Just because you're at the Euros, it makes it a bit more difficult, but it doesn't mean that deals can't be done. Villa cooked us with negotiations. I don't know if we're a weak side here necessarily. Again, look, 40 million seems a lot, but that would be a total package, and you don't know how much would be made up of add-ons, how attainable all the add-ons would be. And I suppose, like, in a more positive way of looking at it, potentially, if the add-ons were achieved, you'd like to think that it's been a successful signing because there's been some level of team or individual success. That's kind of how I would be looking at it. But this player going in the opposite direction thing is a little bit weird to me, a little bit strange. It definitely isn't going to be Conor Gallagher. That's been made very, very clear. But I think Conor Gallagher, it will be done after the Euros. Villa cannot buy a player more expensive than Duran from Chelsea. Look, I don't understand the whole situation, but from what I'm seeing is that if we buy Duran, they're then going to buy a player from us, and so it's going to be a kind of swap deal, but they're going to be two separate transactions. If that makes sense, I know that all sounds a little bit. I know that all sounds slightly odd. If we're being perfectly honest here, it does all sound a little bit weird. In terms of what players it might be, I mean, I don't really know. Is the honest answer to that? I mean, you're looking at maybe an Ian Maatsen, you're looking at maybe a maybe a Chalobah, maybe a Broja potentially. You've got to be looking at players that we're looking to maybe sell or looking to get rid of. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it, to see which players it's going to be. But if Maatsen ends up going the other way, it's going to be a madness, isn't it? It is going to be a madness if Maatsen ends up going the other way. That's going to be pretty peak, really. I mean, let's just have a quick look on this now on the Ian Maatsen side of things. Aston Villa have inquired about Maatsen. Villa will only sign players from Chelsea this summer if Duran completes a move to Stamford Bridge. I mean, so Duran comes and then Villa gets to pick. Villa gets to pick someone from us, or is it going to be someone that we're looking to sell and they're interested in? It's not going to be the case of like, oh, by the way, we're selling you Duran, and now in return, we'd like to buy Nicholas Jackson, or in return, we'd like to sign Noni Madueke, for example. Again, look, you could, someone like Amari Hutchinson, potentially. Although Villa have got a lot of wide players, Moussa Diaby, Leon Bailey, Morgan Rogers. Like, do they really need another wide player? If anything, they'd be looking for a midfield player, or they'd be looking for a backup striker. Now, does Amanda Broja suit what they're looking to do? I don't know, is the honest answer to that. I'm really not sure. I mean, Broja's been linked with Everton. They would like to sign him if they can get the finances together to do it. So I'm a little bit unsure on this, but I mean, Maatsen going in the opposite direction would be quite poor. For us to pay up to 40 million for Duran and then Ian Maatsen to go the other way on his 35 million pound release clause, that wouldn't sit well. I've got to be real, that wouldn't sit well. Villa will need to replace a striker. Could be Broja. We have to wait until after the Euros. No, I don't think we do have to wait until after the Euros on this one. Duran's not involved in any international tournaments, so Duran, the Duran side of things can easily be sorted. Whilst the tournament's on. Villa are threatening us, take Duran so we can buy. I don't think it's quite like that, but we'd rather Alvarez, but we have to accept Duran. Alvarez is not happening. No chance. I mean, look, let's wait and see. I think Maatsen's priority probably is Borussia Dortmund. Let's make that clear. I think he would like to stay at Dortmund, although with Edin Terzic leaving and Nuri Sahin being being appointed as a new coach, I don't know whether that changes anything necessarily in Maatsen's mind that he would not want to continue there because of the managerial situation. I don't really know is the honest answer to that one. But Maatsen, what we definitely know is that Maatsen and Gallagher are two players that Villa are absolutely interested in. Gallagher, again, is going to be no part of the swap deal. He's not involved in talks. He wants to focus on the Euros and decide his future later. Obviously, still happy at Chelsea. Yeah, Maatsen would be the worrying one. But yeah, Dortmund, let's be real here. They've got other signings they want to do. I think they want to try and get Jadon Sancho as well. Plus, they're going to have other targets. They're looking at Seru Guirassy as well, the Stuttgart forward. They haven't got a lot of money. So I think Maatsen might have to reconsider where he is potentially going to go. So this is obviously from Fabrizio earlier. Conor Gallagher currently not involved in talks between Chelsea and Villa for Jhon Duran. Gallagher wants to focus on the Euros and then decide his future later. Still happy at Chelsea. Jhon Duran deal would be a swap with other players as revealed yesterday. What else have we got? Oh, is Jhon Duran going Copa America? Oh shit, he's Colombian, isn't he? I've completely forgotten about that. Yeah, no, he is going. He is Copa America bound, isn't he? Yeah, he must have made. Yeah, he must be in the squad. Totally forgot about that. Yeah, no, he is. He is. Big up to the couch critic. Yeah, no, he absolutely is. I don't know why I just completely forgotten about that. But yeah, no, he is going. He will be at the Copa America. So again, I don't know how easy a deal is to do there. I think Chelsea, it just makes it a bit more complicated. It's not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. If they're looking for a left back, we can give them Chilwell. I mean, I don't think it quite works like that. He's not going anywhere. If they're going to, yeah, okay. Thought Jhon Duran was Belgian for some reason. No, he's Colombian. I completely forgotten about that. I did know that, but it just slipped my mind. Yes, big up, bro. He's a mediocre signing regardless. I think we just got to accept it. You know, it's another one. It's one of those where, you know, let's be fair here, right? Okay, it's not exciting. It's not really what we're looking for, what we were hoping for this summer. But at the same time, we didn't really know anything about Nicholas Jackson when he came. We didn't really know anything about a number of these players before they arrived, and some of them have been all right. You know, we just gotta try and see the positives on this one. I know it doesn't feel like there's that many right now, and to be perfectly honest, there aren't really that many if we're being real, because he's totally unproven. He started 3 Premier League games last season. I think he scored 5 goals. And considering most of his minutes were from the bench and how many minutes he actually played, it's not horrendous when you apply the context to it. But yeah, it's a bit of a problem, to be perfectly honest. There's just no top level experience there, and once again you are taking a massive roll of the dice here. A massive roll of the dice. Yeah, you know, he's more than capable of playing in the Conference League, but I think myself and a load of you in the chat are probably more than capable of playing in some of those Conference League group games. But I think it's good from that perspective that, you know, there are going to be games and there's going to be plenty of minutes for him to play, even if it's you know, not exactly what we're wanting. We don't need striker that is potentially not better than Jackson. Well, he's not better than Jackson right now. No, he's a different profile of striker to Jackson. So you can sort of see it from that point of view in terms of, you know, have we got Duran's profile of striker in the squad? No, we don't. So it's a different profile to Jackson in that regard. But it's not. It's one of them where I'm just looking at it and I think, okay, it's potential. Like the vast majority of Chelsea's signings have been under this new ownership, but it's not, you know, it's not exciting. At the end of the day, it is not exciting. Duran, go where you will be appreciated. That's not Chelsea. No, look, I'm absolutely one that, you know, will back as soon as a player signs and is holding the shirt up. I'll be supporting him during his whole time at the club. Absolutely, but I'm just saying that this is not exciting. Not at all. Villa will buy Tammy for 20. Yeah, this is one that I can definitely see happening. Yeah, Duran, 8 goals last season. I think 5 in the Premier League, maybe 1 in the Cup and a couple in the Conference League or something along those lines. Reports say that there should be a player included in the deal for Duran. I mean, look, I cannot see Chilwell leaving. He was named vice-captain last summer. I just don't see that happening. I think Chile's got at least one more season in him. Tony, I think, Tony's available, but I don't know who's going to go for him. Jackson or Duran? Well, Jackson's better than Duran right now, for sure. Absolutely. Do we pay more to Villa so they can pay more for us. No, I don't think it works like that at all. I'm pretty certain it's not working like that. Oh yeah, Jackson's miles better than Duran right now. Yeah, you probably would say so. But this is what maybe people are slightly missing to a degree, is that with Duran, we're not buying the player he is right now. We're buying potential. You're paying for how good you think the player could be. And unfortunately, potential sells for a lot these days, as a reference with Esteban Willian. We're paying for potential. We're not paying for how good Jhon Duran is right now. We're paying for how good he could be in 2-3 years' time. That's really what you're paying for, because no one's expecting Duran to come in and make an impact on this team straight away. I mean, we'd love it, but we've got to be realistic and accept that is very, very unlikely to happen. Very unlikely to happen. By the way, big up to everyone that's locked in. 118 in the building. Make sure you're smashing those likes up. Only 40 likes so far, guys. We need to do better than that. So keep making sure you run it up, people. Keep making sure you run it up. But yeah, 41 likes, 121 in the building. We can do better than this, guys. Any news on Chalobah? We're going to get to that in a sec. Tony's not. I don't think Tony is going to be 80 million. Tony's price tag will have massively, massively dropped because of how he ended the season. It's definitely dropped. That's the same thing we said about Jackson last year. Yeah, we did, and Jackson's done very well. But Duran's even less proven than Nicholas Jackson was when he signed. Yeah, brother, this is exactly my point. This is what I was saying on the show yesterday, is that it's fine to sign players like this, right? It's fine to go down this route of what you're doing when you're signing potential. But then if you're going to do that, don't then set targets of top 4 and winning trophies and things like that. I mean, obviously, Conference League, whatever, that should be the target regardless. But don't set those kind of targets, and then your main striker signing is a 20-year-old backup striker from Aston Villa. I mean, come on, guys. If that's what we're doing, then it's going to be long for us. It's going to be long for us if that's what we're doing. I'm sorry, it just is. And yeah, I'm just confused, guys. I'm just confused about what is going on right now at this football club. Really confused. When will we get Olise done? Hopefully soon. We're going to dive into that shortly. It could help FFP if they paid more for a youth player, pay them to pay us. Again, I'm not really sure how this works. But yeah, it's going to be players involved. £40 million is the fee that is being touted for Duran. Obviously, Chelsea, it's going to be one of those heavily incentivized contracts. We know the drill on those. But yeah, I'm interested in here. I'm interested. Wow, Man United have made an opening offer for Jared Branthwaite, £35 million. Are they joking? 35 million they've bid for Branthwaite. Are they crazy? We are shopping in Lidl and Poundland instead of Harrods. Well, to be fair, sometimes you can get good shit in Lidl and Poundland sometimes. But yeah, I agree. 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up with the shit. Basically, is the reality here. Tony is currently 60. Look, I think honestly, if Ivan Toney leaves this summer, I suspect someone will get Tony for 50 or 60 million pounds, 100%. Everton wants 70 million pounds for Branthwaite. And look, I like Branthwaite. I think he's a very good player. But I mean, United must be having a fucking laugh. 35 million pounds. I mean, that is so disrespectful. That you've gone in at half the asking price. I know you're not going to go in straight away at the asking price, but you've gone in at half the asking price. It's crazy. It's so cheeky, isn't it? Like I don't even know why they're doing that. I mean, it's an absolute mockery of a bid. But anyway, fuck them. Tony goes to Arsenal. Let's wait and see. He's going to be this next big money centre back like Maguire. I don't think he will either. I think he's much better, much better. They don't. They've got about their budget's reported to be as low as £50 million. Obviously, they can increase that through selling players and whatnot. But yeah, when it comes to strikers and Chelsea, I have serious PTSD with big names. Yeah, and I think we all do. We absolutely all do. So whilst it's easy for us to sit here, myself to sit here and say, oh, do you know what? We should be going for someone better. We should be going for a bigger name. We should be doing this and that. Do you know what? Apart from Drogba and Costa, it's actually been the slightly lesser strikers that have done better for us. That's just the reality, people. No disrespect to Duran, but what happened to the proven lethal marksman we were after? Well, one, there's not that many of them around, and two, if it's in regards to Sesko, he obviously chose to stay at Leipzig. In regards to Osimhen, I think we can all agree that the finances involved in that deal are just too much to warrant pursuing a move for him. So yeah, I don't know, guys, is the honest answer. I'm really unsure of what has happened to the lethal marksman. The striker market is not what it used to be. The traditional number 9 is dying out, for want of a better phrase. It is dying out, the traditional 9. So let's wait and see. But it is one of them where the traditional 9 is dying out. There's no doubt about it. They're being replaced now by more versatile forwards, inside forwards. Do you know what I mean? It's not great. Let's be real. It really isn't that great now. The traditional number 9 is dying out. I mean, Haaland is probably the last of that. Is one of the only ones of that breed, and out 9. Kane, you could say he is, but again, he was dropping deep a lot. Maybe at Bayern now, he doesn't need to do that so much with Musiala and co. But yeah, there's not many traditional 9s left. Yeah, but he's under contract at West Ham until 2030, so that's just never happening. Unfortunately, that one is just not going to happen. Duran could work because the expectation will be low. Yeah, there's going to be no expectation on Duran, but then at the same time though, when you play for Chelsea, there is always expectation, guys. You can't just be like, oh, it doesn't really matter what I do because it was a cheap deal. I'm still young and unproven, so no one's expecting anything of me, so I can just kind of cruise. I can just kind of cruise through it. It doesn't really work like that, unfortunately. Well, according to himself, he has, but it's not been revealed yet. I suspect Osimhen either ends up at PSG or he stays at. Basically, Osimhen's going to be PSG, stay at Napoli, or he's going to go to Saudi. I promise you, I can't see him going anywhere else. Every proven striker we bought before flopped. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If they buy an academy player, it counts straight profit. So we are funding their own signing when. Yeah, maybe. Bowen is a good player, but yeah, not exactly the signing you make if you want to win stuff. I don't know. I'm afraid of England. Do you think Charlie would be, yeah, I think England will win. Will do well in the group stage. Yeah, they've done a lot better. Those kind of strikers. Absolutely. So yeah, look. We could talk about Duran all day, guys. The reality is, he's going to come. We're going to support him, and we're just going to have to hope that he does well, because it's not his fault that he's been signed. If anything, guys, if you're angry about this, we should be looking at the recruitment team and whatnot. We shouldn't be going at the players. We absolutely should not be going at the players. That's the reality here. Shouldn't be going for the players. If Duran takes Jackson's position, it means he's levels. Well, I don't know. Maybe. What's the news on Connor's new contract? No news. I mean, nothing in regards to Conor Gallagher is going to be sorted until after the Euros. Nothing for Gallagher will be sorted until after the Euros, guys. Gutted we can't get Osimhen. This is all on the owners after wasting so much money. I don't think it's anything to do with the fact that we can't afford Osimhen. I think it's more for the fact that Chelsea don't think he's worth the money at the price that would have to be paid for him. It's not about that we can't afford him. It's more of a case of we don't think he's worth the money, and there's concerns about his injury record. There's concerns about how he'd fit in stylistically as well. So yeah, that's why we're not pursuing Osimhen. Personally, I think the striker market is too bad. It's just the options we want are dead. I don't know. You've got to look at what's available. I mean, look, obviously, Guirassy is a bargain for someone, for sure. I mean, I'm surprised that someone's name like Santiago Jimenez at Feyenoord is not being spoken about a bit more. The Mexican striker. Well, no, he didn't because he was not first choice. I mean, Ollie Watkins was first choice, and Ollie Watkins had a cracking season. So yeah, he barely played. He barely played Duran. Yeah, I mean, look, he's got that shit house about him. Yeah, he's strong. Look, he's got good attributes. So I think what people need to realize here is that this is in isolation, Duran's a talented boy, and it's a half decent signing. But when you apply the context of what Chelsea need to take them to the next level, of what we're looking for to improve the quality of the squad, signing Duran as your striker, as your main summer transfer signing in the striker position, that's not what we need. No one has looked at Chelsea and finished at the end of last season, right, and said, "Oh, what we need is a young, inexperienced, totally unproven striker. That's what we need to add to our squad." No one was saying that ever. So, obviously we're going to support him, we'll get behind him, but I can't support the principle of this signing because it literally doesn't make sense on any level whatsoever. I cannot support the principle of this signing because I just don't agree with what we're doing on that front. And if people disagree, they disagree, but I just don't get it. Osimhen as well, wages ridiculous. Jimenez is really good. We had better start praying hard if we're buying Duran as main signing. Well, look, I don't mean main signing as in like, oh, it's going to be the main transfer. I mean, as in our main striker signing. I don't mean our main summer signing. I think Michael Olise will end up being the main summer signing. I don't want Jimenez. Jimenez is better than Duran. Duran will cost 30 of 10 add-ons. I even think 30 up front is too much. Look, if we can get 25 and 15, that's better. But yeah, it's going to be in and around £40 million total package. Guys, 143 in the building, only 57 likes. Come on, people, run those likes up. We need to get this to 100 likes. It really helps the channel out, helps boost the content in the YouTube algorithm, gets more eyes on the show. So please do, guys, if you're locked in now, just smash that thumbs up button and keep subscribing to the channel as well, guys. Details of the giveaway will be released over the weekend, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, subscribe. We're heading towards 11k now. That is the next step of the journey, people. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're smashing the likes, and let's crack on with things. Is there a world we could go for Alvarez later in the window? Probably a world far, far away where there's not much sign of human life whatsoever. It would be my answer to that one. Strikers are a dying breed. Yeah, you do have to gamble. I mean, look, there's an element of risk in every single transfer, but the reality is, some deals are far more risky than others, and this is a big risk. Let's be real here. This is a huge risk, guys. There's no denying it. All right, yeah, fair. Tony would be the ideal signing. He would. Now, look, I part of me, I mean, I've been banging the Ivan Toney drum for so long. Like, I kind of widely accepted that, that's not happening, and that was absolutely finished. But at the moment, I don't really know who else is going to be going in for him. Maybe United, Spurs. Those are the two that I'd maybe be looking at. Maybe Arsenal, having been lost out on Sesko. Maybe they're going to do. Maybe they're going to look at going back in for Toney, considering the asking price has massively dropped down. So yeah, we're gonna wait and see on that front what happens with Ivan Toney. But there are options out there. Look, at the end of it, there's no point being in for Yoro, because when Real Madrid are involved and Nacho's gone to Al Ittihad in Saudi, you're going to be, look, Yoro's going to Real Madrid. He's got Real Madrid written all over him. And sometimes, you just got to accept that as much pull as you think you might have, when Real Madrid are calling, they're calling, and that's it. That is that. It's pure and simple, guys. But again, I don't think Yoro is necessarily what we need. An 18-year-old centre back is not really what we're looking for. At least they will take a long time if it goes through. It's obvious Palace is trying to drum up a bidding war. I mean, I don't understand how you can get a bidding war when it's a release clause. You know, there is no bidding war. It's just going to be multiple clubs interested. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks very much. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Duran is going to be a Palmer-esque signing. I wouldn't go quite as far as Palmer-esque, but look, maybe he might surprise a few people, and I'd love to be proven wrong on this front. But I'm just rather skeptical on the whole thing, which I think is absolutely justified. Absolutely justified. So yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if I don't know if Jhon Duran might be not Jhon Duran. Sorry, I don't know if Datro Fofana could be involved. Maybe it's going to be an interesting one, people. I don't know who's going to be involved. Duran attitude is a worry. He like Jackson picks up stupid bookings. Again, look, I think his attitude, the concerns about his attitude have been downplayed. I just put it more down to lack of experience. You know, we saw how Jackson started with the bookings and stuff, and then as they grew into the season, that stopped happening as he matured a bit more, developed a little bit more. That sort of thing stopped happening. So I think, look, rather than a general petulance, I actually just think it's a player maturing. For sure, I just think it's a player maturing. Really, is my view on that. I like Tony, but after seeing his interview with Darcy, I went off him due to his immaturity. I also think he works well in counter-attacking teams rather than possession-based. I mean, look, I don't know how important a striker is in a possession-based team in terms of, in terms of build-up and whatnot. Just be in the fucking box and put the ball in the net when you get an opportunity. That's all I'm wanting. I don't need you to be involved in link-up play and all this bollocks. Just in the box, and when the ball comes in the box, make sure you just put it in the back of the net 9 times out of 10. That's what I'm looking for. I don't give a crap about his attitude. He just needs to score. Costa's attitude was terrible, but his goals kept everyone silent. Well, yeah. I mean, look, United I don't know what United are doing, but yeah, that's kind of the latest on Jhon Duran, guys. Is basically Chelsea are getting close on a £40 million deal, total package, discussing personal terms. And then obviously a player is going to go the other way. But in a slightly weird turn of events, it's going to be 2 separate transactions. But if we sign Duran, Villa are then going to sign someone from us. We know they're interested in Gallagher, but it's not going to be him. I suspect it could be in Maatsen, could be Trevor Chalobah, maybe Amanda Broya if they're looking for a backup striker. But let's get into the Michael Olise stuff, guys, because there is a bit more news on the Olise front. And Chelsea are willing to offer players in exchange as part of a bid for Olise to try to convince Palace to let one of their star men go. Now, Matt Law was added again in this same article. Telegraph Sports understands the complicated clause in Olise's contract is not only for Champions League clubs, and that Chelsea are confident they will not have to pay more than any other club to land him. Palace would prefer a straight cash transfer for Olise, although a deal with Chelsea would open up the possibility of players being sent to Selhurst Park on loan this summer. Bayern Munich and Newcastle have also approached Palace, but Chelsea are currently leading the race for Olise, with his brother Richard plays for the club. So yeah, players could be involved in the Olise deal. And I think we've got some players that they would like on loan potentially. You could maybe see someone like a Leslie Ugochukwu. And Amari Hutchinson is absolutely a possibility. Maybe an Amanda Broya. Again, Trevor Chalobah could be someone they're looking for. You know, there are options here. Absolutely, there are options. And look, I think, it's definitely someone they'd like. It would be Amari Hutchinson. I'm not saying it's a like-for-like replacement for Olise by any stretch of the imagination, but it's absolutely, it's the same position. So I don't see why it's a huge problem. I really don't see why that would be a huge issue. I actually think Amari Hutchinson going on loan to Crystal Palace would be massive, absolutely massive. I think that'd be a great deal. Well, again, Paez is not coming till 2025. Again, Angelo is someone that could definitely go on loan to Palace as well. I mean, why couldn't that be a possibility? Now, Madueke should be staying as part of the first team, no doubt about it. And I think the plan has always been to have Madueke and Olise as your right wing options next season. In Chelsea, there's no guarantee of star striker as a solution. No, I hear you on that front. Watch Madueke leave Chelsea and end up like Salah. Look, Madueke. I'm pretty confident that Madueke won't be leaving Chelsea this summer. I'm pretty sure on that. I feel very sure on that one. Yeah, they are. Yeah, look, I mean, Chelsea would rather sell Hutchinson, I think, is the thing. You know, they don't want to loan him necessarily, but you know, if that's what gets the deal over the line, then why not? You know, if that's what we have to do, then that's what we have to do. Simple. You know, just get it done. Just get it done whatever way is possible to get it done. You know, and that means sending Hutchinson, if that means sending Chalobah or whatever it is, then let's just get it done, people. Let's just do it. But again, you know, in terms of the complexity of the release clause, guys, there's a bit more detail being shed on that at this point in time, in terms of where are we? So yeah, so the complexities of it are due to the fact that multiple parties are owed different chunks of money. So Michael Olise has a release clause worth in the region of £60 million, and any deal will be complex with percentages due to his former club Reading, Olise himself, and Crystal Palace. So it's not just a straight, you know, release clause and it goes to Palace or whatever. Some of it's going to Palace, some of it's going to Reading, some of it's going to Olise himself. So there's a lot of moving parts on this deal, a lot of moving parts. And can't they take Lukaku? No, well, I don't think they want Lukaku, to be perfectly honest. Yes, big up to Fidget06 for the donation. Greatly appreciated, bro. Olise looking likely, hopefully agreement soon. Yeah, I mean that's what we're all hoping for. That is what we're all hoping for an Olise agreement soon. But yeah, there's still a little bit of a way to go on this one. Amari plus 35, yeah, maybe. Madness selling Maatsen. Look, we're not selling Madueke. I don't know where people are getting this idea from, that Madueke is going to be leaving this summer. He absolutely isn't. I mean, look, Cucurella, I think, is going to be a massive player under Enzo Maresca next season. I really do. You know, he plays that inverted role to a T. It suits him well. Cucurella is going to be a big player. Mudryk, again, is going to be another big player next season. Maresca really values old school sort of out-and-out touchline wingers. And we've got two of them in Mudryk and Madueke. So, yeah, I don't see either of those guys leaving. But that's why the release clause is a bit complicated, because there's certain percentages due to multiple different parties. But, I mean, and then obviously in terms of players who might be involved in a potential deal, for Olise, this is, by the way, there's been talk of Chalobah and Broja are among the players Chelsea may consider using as make weights in the Olise deal. Let's see what this Sammy Mockbell article is saying on that front. What are you lot saying in the chat? If it's that complex, why not just drop it? We already have Palmer and Madueke on the right and Kunku and Carney for centre. Because basically, when you've got a player of that quality available, it's because I just can't see it happening. I mean, I could be wrong, and it's Chelsea, and you can never say never on certain things, but look, you can never be 100% certain, but I am 99.9% certain that he's not going. You know, I really don't see it happening. I know Madueke is on Newcastle's shortlist for a new winger, but I honestly can't see him leaving. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I cannot see him leaving this summer. I really can't. In terms of what this article is saying about still, Chelsea have approached Palace over a summer swoop for Olise and are willing to include players as sweeteners in the deal. Chelsea, we know that. Man United are interested in Olise, got limited budget. Yep. Mail Sports understands that Chelsea are open to including fringe players in any deal for Olise. Broja and Chalobah are among the players Chelsea may consider using as make weights in the deal. Newcastle and Bayern are among the clubs keen on Olise, but Chelsea are confident they can land their long-term target. He's understood to be keeping his options open this summer, but wants a swift resolution to his future before he heads to the Olympics with France. While the possibility of leaving Selhurst Park is obvious, sources have also indicated that the winger has shown a willingness to remain at Palace if they show ambition in the transfer market. Oh, fuck yeah. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. Mail Sport revealed last week his teammate Eberiche Eze has a minimum £60 million release clause in his contract, and Mark Guehi is also being monitored by Man United and Liverpool. Chelsea's original move for Olise unfolded amid a backdrop of tapping up complaints from Palace. So we've got to go by the book this time. Chelsea's interest in a winger aggravated Palace officials who believe that they crossed the line in their attempts to sign the player last summer, with Palace officials communicating their concerns to Chelsea. Palace felt that Chelsea's potential swoop for Olise had contravened transfer rules and etiquette and was tantamount to an illegal approach. This summer, however, Chelsea have made a formal request to discuss a potential swoop for Olise with Palace. So we're going by the book this time. I don't know why we didn't go by the book last time. That's clearly not what we do. Clearly not what we do. But yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? We need to go by the book, guys. So let's make sure we're doing all our shit properly. And as I was saying yesterday, if we miss out on this Olise deal, we've only got ourselves to blame. Only got ourselves to blame. There is no one else to blame whatsoever on this. No one else to blame whatsoever if we miss out other than ourselves. And that's the that's the reality, guys. Don't see a swap happening. Well, it's not going to be a swap. I think it would be some players involved and cash. It wouldn't just be a straight swap transaction. Absolutely not. Guys, still only 73 likes, 156 in the building. Let's get these likes up, people. Come on, guys. We need to get this over 100 likes. That should be light work from here. 25 more required. Smash the thumbs up button, guys. It's free. Not asking for money. Consider that your entry fee to the show, guys. So make sure you're smashing the thumbs up button. There must be loads of people that have not smashed the like button. So make sure you do that and keep subscribing as well, guys. Remember, details of the shirt giveaway will be coming over the weekend. So make sure you keep subscribing to the channel. So make sure you do that. Make sure you are subscribing as well, guys. But yeah, run the likes up, subscribe, all that good stuff. You lot know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. But yeah, I think the Olise thing now, guys, we just got to kind of sit and hold tight. Hold tight, we have to do. Maatsen a quality left back, and we need a left back. Also, what's happening with Washington? Washington, I think, will go on loan. Maatsen is 100% leaving. I don't think anyone believes that Ian Maatsen's staying at the football club. I don't even think he wants to stay at the football club. That's kind of where we're at with this situation now. I don't even think he wants to stay at the football club. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at with that one. They can have Gallagher, Disassi. I mean, they're not going to get any of those players. In my opinion, I don't think personal terms are an issue. No, personal terms are not an issue with Michael Olise. Like, Chelsea have sorted personal terms of Olise. We had personal terms sorted last summer. And again, look, they're not going to be very different this time round. So personal terms aren't an issue for Chelsea and Michael Olise. It's now just about convincing the player to join. I think he's very open to joining. So it's just more about working on the player side of things. That's what we're doing here. Working on the player side. Chelsea going hard on the player side. So let's wait and see on that one. But yeah, it's the player side that we're looking at with Olise. There's nothing we really need to do on the Palace front. We've approached them, we've asked for permission and all that stuff. So it's just now about agreeing with the player and then obviously going back to Palace and activating that release clause. That's what we need to do. That's exactly what we need to do on that front. There was another little Olise update from Ben Jacobs. on this one. Let me just quickly find it now. I don't think we do need a left back. I think the emergence of Cucurella towards the end of the season has very much changed the thinking in regards to a left back. Bro, I think we're clutching here. I think we're clutching big time if people think that Olise's that Maatsen's going to stay. He just isn't, guys. We've got to be realistic here. He just isn't going to be staying. We know that he's leaving. It'll be a madness if Olise says he wants to stay. Yeah, I mean, I was saying this the other day. Like, could you imagine after going through all this that he's just like, do you know what, guys? I'm staying. I've actually decided to stay. Yeah, mad, absolutely mad. That would be crazy. If that does happen. Yeah, it would be mad. But yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. I think Cucurella will be starting left back next season. Absolutely, in my mind, Cucurella starting left back next season. No doubt about it for me. So yeah, anyway, just this little Ben Jacobs update on Olise, guys. Chelsea won't be forced to overpay. Focus will be simply on getting Olise buy-in, and then Chelsea will decide whether to trigger the complicated clause or try for a different structure. They are not at a disadvantage compared to Champions League clubs regarding the clause, which is in the region of 60 to 65 million pounds. I tell you what, guys, one thing that we can't rule out is that we don't even bother paying the release clause. We just pay more, and then we get it in a more favourable payment structure. I think that's absolutely something that could well be a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe if the release clause was, say, 65 million. I wouldn't be surprised if we tried 70 million pounds, but then we were able to structure it more favourably for us. That wouldn't surprise me. So we've got options here. We can either just activate the complicated clause, or we can pay a bit more and get a better payment structure. Try for a different structure on things. I suspect, obviously both routes are definitely open. Won't be surprised if Colwell plays left back and basically plays as a left centre back when we're in possession. I don't see that. I think the plan very much is to have Colwell and Fofana starting centre backs next season. Sorry, I think Reece James will be starting right back. I think the first choice back four. I know obviously Gusto's going to play the first 3 games, but I think the first choice back four, by the way, next season, in my view, will be Reece James at right back, Colwell and Fofana in centre back, Cucurella at left back. That's how I'm viewing. That's how I'm viewing it. How complicated a clause can it be? I mean, look, I don't think it's complicated in regards to paying. I think it's complicated in regards to the percentages that are owed to certain parties and whatnot. I don't think it's just a traditional release clause. You just activate and everything's fine. I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit different. That's my main thing on that one. That's absolutely my main thing on that one. No, but again, he can invert. If he inverts from the left-hand side, that's fine. Reece can just play normal. If you want to invert Reece into midfield, you can invert Reece into midfield. If you want to invert Cucurella into midfield, then do that on the left-hand side. He's a good player. Big up, about an hour late, but I'm here now. Big up, love for the support, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is different, this one, to a normal one. If it was a normal one, there wouldn't be all this conversation surrounding it. Guys, 10 more likes to 100, by the way, as well. Smash it up, people. Smash it up. 10 more likes to the 100 like mark, guys. 153 in the building. You lot know what to do. Run these likes up, guys. Get this over 100 likes. It should be light work for you lot. Light work. So yeah, that's kind of the latest on Olise, people, is that we're just pushing hard on the player side, and then we're going to decide whether we trigger the clause or we offer a bit more and pay more. That's that's the interesting options that we have here. But yeah, I don't want to say confident, but I'm thinking there's I think that there's definitely guys. There's a big chance that this can happen, but we've got to try and not get too carried away because there's still a long way to go. But he's Olise such a good player. He's a flair player. He's got end product. And his output matches the creativity he's got as well. There's not that many weaknesses in his attacking in his attacking game. He's a great dribbler. He's got all sorts of skill. He's got 3 seasons in the Premier League under his belt. And he's at an age where he's only going to get better as well. So look, I'll be real, guys. If this happens, there's literally, I honestly don't see a downside. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't see any downsides to signing Michael Olise. You lot can maybe see him. Bro, I know you guys are desperate to have him, but you lot can't even afford Jared Branthwaite. You've gone £35 million as your opening bid for a £70 million rated player. Go to the theatre of nightmares? That's got leaks in the roof. It's falling down. As one of your worst seasons ever last season. Yeah, I don't think so. Real question: should we be targeting a left wing too? I think that's probably our weakest position in attack. No, not necessarily, because I think with the way football is these days, with the versatility of these players and how good these players are now. I don't think it matters so much. I mean, Nkunku could play left. He could play 10. He could play on the right-hand side if necessary. Palmer can drift into the centre. Palmer could even go to the left. Olise could go to the left. Olise could go in the centre. These players are so good these days that you don't need to shoehorn them into positions. Yes, obviously you play them in their best position, but there is a fluidity to be had. There's a fluidity to be had. Absolutely. Yeah, not on the right-hand side, we don't. We're going to have Olise on the right, Palmer in the 10, and Nkunku on the left. That is what I think Chelsea's first choice 3 behind Nicholas Jackson will be next season. And that's crazy. That's mad. Absolutely crazy good that is. People have no idea how good that is. The Glazers are still in charge. The Glazers still own Man United. Yeah, Ratcliffe and Ineos have got a minority stake and they're in charge of footballing operations. Yeah, it would be crazy. It honestly would be a joke. Olise hasn't got a bad injury record. It's just he suffered a reoccurrence of hamstring problems. He hasn't actually got a bad injury record at all. Look, Maresca's going to play 4-2-3-1 or he'll play 4-3-3, in which case Cole Palmer will play as an attacking number 8. We've got this covered. There's no problem. Or in Nkunku 9 and Jackson wide. Yeah, there's so many different options here. So, do we need Michael Olise? No. Is it a luxury? Yes. Is it a bit greedy? Yes, it is. But one thing you have to say is there's literally, for me, no downsides to this signing. And he instantly improves the Chelsea attack. Instantly improves it. The Chelsea attack goes up a level straight away. With him in it, the levels just go up, guys. I don't think people are understanding how much of a difference he makes. He makes a huge difference. What else was saying here? At least he should get 7 if he comes. Sterling doesn't deserve it. Well, yeah, I hear you on that one. Michael Olise comes Chelsea. What number would suit him? Maybe number 7. But let's wait and see. I think Olise elevates us to a new level. Yeah, no, he absolutely does. I don't think people realise how good Michael Olise is. He's an absolute joke. An absolute joke how good he is, people. And yeah, people just don't realise how good he is. But that's kind of the latest on Olise, is that, you know, Chelsea feel very confident. They're pushing hard on the player side. Once we've got Olise's buy-in, and you know, and that he definitely wants to come, then we can deal with Crystal Palace, and then we can deal with, obviously, whether we activate the clause or whether we go for a bit more and we try for a different structure. That's what that's kind of the next steps now. Get the buy-in from the player. I don't think we're far away from having some sort of conclusion to the Olise saga. I don't think we're that far away at all. In fact, I think we are creeping closer. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if in, let's say, the next week we have we have something decided one way or another over Olise. I suspect by the end of the next week we could well know something. That would be my thoughts on it. I reckon end of next week. But yeah, he wants it done by the end of June, sort of July time. Well, bro, if that helps you cope, if it helps you sleep at night, then that's great. But like, United have got no money. I don't think you realise how poor Man United are at this point in time. You know, both teams are like, Man United are interested in Olise, sure, but let's be honest here. You can't afford him, and yeah, you can't afford him. It's just not happening for you lot. It's not happening for you, unfortunately. So I guess the sooner you come to terms with the fact that Olise is not coming to Man United, then the easier and the better it's going to be for you. You know, as soon as you come to terms with that, you'll be fine. I'm confused. Shouldn't we have an agreement with the club before approaching the player? No, we've approached Palace for permission, so that's not a problem. And look, I don't think we're necessarily speaking directly to the player but we're definitely in contact with his agents and his representatives and whatnot. So yeah, we're doing things by the book. We're not going to fall foul of things like we did last time, guys. Because last time I think we were probably a little bit underhand in our pursuit. That's for sure. And yeah, the Chelsea project is a lot more exciting than the Man United project. Man United are basically where Chelsea were 2 years ago. You know, right at the start of something new. You know, the Chelsea project right now is much more appealing than the Man United project. That's the reality of the situation on this one. We are a more attractive proposition than Man United. Man United, of course, with the name and the reputation and the history and whatnot, will always be able to attract players. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not that much of an attractive proposition right now. That's just the reality. With a centre back and a defensive midfield player to buy, United can't afford to buy them unless they sell someone. Yeah, I hear you on that. It worries me if Bayern are actually after him. No, but at the end of the day, I think Bayern as well. Bayern, of course, are keen. They like him. You know, they love to sign him. Apparently, Olise is not that keen on moving to Germany. And again, I don't know if Bayern have even got the finances to pull this sort of a deal off. I don't think they do. Is my honest thoughts on the situation. Yeah, and again, this is true. United's priority has got to be defensive reinforcements and midfield reinforcements before they even think about their attack. They need centre backs. They need a defensive midfield player. So whilst they like Olise and they'd love to sign him, the reality here on this one, guys, is that it's not a priority for them right now. You know, it's not a priority for them right now. Yeah, but in terms of transfer fees, like their first offer for Paulinho was 35 million. You know, Bayern don't. I know they spent a lot of money on Kane last summer, but generally speaking, you know, Bayern have not got an endless pot of money to just spend on. Olise knows Nkunku and Gusto from the French squad. Well, he doesn't because he's never been called up to the French squad. But he probably knows Malo Gusto. But I don't know if he knows Nkunku or not, to be honest. But yeah, look, I don't think we're too far away from an Olise decision. But I wouldn't be worried about Man United in the pursuit for Olise. You know, they can't even afford their main target in Branthwaite, and I think that they're going to pay the release clause for Olise. So yeah, I'm not seeing it, people. I'm absolutely not seeing it in any way whatsoever. And again, look, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Olise right wing and Palmer playing as a left or right number 8. That's what I would potentially be seeing. Does he have any caps for France? No, I don't think he does. I don't think he's capped by France. I don't think he's got a senior cap. Let me just double check that. But I'm pretty sure Olise is not. I'm pretty sure Olise is not capped for France. I'm pretty sure he's only a 21s international. I don't think he's actually played for France, which is kind of for the senior team. No caps for the senior team at all. That's crazy. That is crazy. For the 21s, though, he's got 7 caps for the 21s. And he's scored 1 goal. He's only capped 7 times for the 21. So yeah, he's not got a great deal of international experience. Any news on Gabriel and Datro Fofana? Angelo, I suspect, will be loaned out again. There's no room at the inn for him at this point in time. Datro Fofana, Chelsea will try and sell him this summer. If there's not any takers at a price they want, then I suspect that he'll go out on loan again. But yeah, but in one way or another, whether it's permanent or loan, in my opinion, neither of those two will be in the squad next season. Yeah, he'll get some. Yeah, I think he definitely will. But he's definitely not a first choice starter or anything like that. Absolutely not. Guys, 150 in the building still, only 105 likes. People, smash that thumbs up button. It's free. It takes seconds. What are you playing at, guys? Come on. If you're not liking the stream, then what are we doing here? 160 in the building. This should be 150 likes. Come on, guys. Smash the thumbs up button and keep subscribing to the channel as well if you're new out here. We passed 10K yesterday, but we are sailing on to the next target. Details of the shirt giveaway are coming up over the weekend as well. So make sure you're subscribed to be in with a chance of winning a Chelsea shirt of your choice from the upcoming season, guys. But yeah, run those likes up, people. Run them up, and keep subscribing to the channel if you are new around here. There should be 150 likes. Let's get to work, guys. What's going on here? If Olise comes to Chelsea, yeah, I can't wait either. Think Casadei is gone. Yeah, I suspect that Casadei is going to be another one that gets moved on. No doubt about it in my mind. He's going to be another one that gets moved on. Whether it's a loan or whether it's a sale, I suspect you'd at least get you'd get your money back on Casadei. You might even make a small profit on him, but you definitely get your money back on him. So I suspect that Casadei will go on loan or will be sold. Yeah, let's see. United need a new roof for the stadium. Yeah, they do. Any news on Gallagher? Nope. His future will be just decided after the Euros. That's what we can say. Even if Olise comes, I'm still not happy. We need a striker. For how many years have we always wished we had someone that's clinical? Yeah, no, I hear you. But Sterling to anywhere is not on. It couldn't be more off Sterling to anywhere at this point in time. Yeah, no, bro, I remember. Let's wait and see. Let's see if anything happens this weekend. Let's see if anything happens this weekend at all on the Olise front. Casadei is not going to go for 40 million. Absolutely no chance. I think strikers always cost a bit more anyway. I suspect that Casadei will be loaned or will sell him for around 15, maybe 20 million. Yeah, well, yeah, I think he will be. I think Andre Santos will be. You know, the report from the Athletic stating that Chelsea don't want to sell or loan Santos next season, and he's going to be part of the first team squad. So I think that's what we're looking at, guys. That is what we're looking at in regards with Andre Santos. He is going to be part of that first team squad. I'd like Conor Gallagher to stay as well, but I think at the moment it's still very much 50-50, very much up in the air right now on whether that happens or not. What else is going on? Let's have a look what we've got. Anything further in regards to Chelsea? I mean, the main things going on right now, guys, are obviously the Jhon Duran deal and the Olise deal. Obviously, you know, we're waiting to see what happens in regards to and in regards to anything else. Obviously, Romelu Lukaku. You know, we're still waiting to see what happens with him. There are rumours regarding Gallagher that the top brass would have a change of heart. Yeah, there was one report in The Guardian saying that they might consider offering him a new deal. I don't really know how true that is. If we're being brutally honest here, I haven't really got any idea how true that is or not. It's not really been reported anywhere else. Doesn't mean it's not true, but it hasn't been reported anywhere else. So yeah, let's wait and see on that front, guys. Let's wait and see. Santos is a good player, probably best for him to stay with us. He'll get plenty of minutes. Well, again, he'll definitely play in the Conference League and the domestic cups, and he could obviously have a substitute role in the Premier League. So there's definitely there are definitely options for him. Definitely options for him. You can't have Enzo Caicedo. Look, we know that Ugo Chukwu is going to go on loan. He's going to the Olympics because he's not really seen as a key part of the plan. So Ugo Chukwu will definitely go on loan next season, in my opinion. And then you have Enzo Caicedo, Connor, Lavia, and Santos, 5 midfield players for across 4 competitions. I don't think that's ridiculous at all. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Yeah, Premier League fixtures come out on Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday, the Premier League fixtures come out. So, yeah, in Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days' time, the Premier League fixtures will be released. Exciting stuff. But yeah, that's the latest. That's the latest on those 2 major deals. In terms of anything else, in terms of player sales and outgoings and whatnot, there isn't an awful lot. There's not an awful lot to add on outgoings right now. There's nothing on Gallagher. There's nothing on Trevor Chalobah. There's nothing new on Amanda Broja. Nothing new on Ian Maatsen. Yeah, there's absolutely plenty. Absolutely plenty in regards to outgoings that needs to happen. I suspect, next week some dominoes will start falling into place. I think major deals, I struggle to see major deals being done during the Euros, but I suppose with players that aren't at the Euros, that isn't really going to be a problem. Olise is not at any competition this summer. I mean, apart from the Olympics, but that's not until end of July. So there's plenty of time to get a deal done for him. People out tonight. Yeah, exactly. This is it. This is my point. Like people need to understand you need squad depth and you need quality squad depth. That's why I can't understand why people say, don't sign Olise because we've got Madueke, or don't sign so-and-so because we've got so-and-so. Like, that's not the right mentality or the right mindset to have when you're trying to build an elite squad. Euro starts tonight. Yeah, Euro's on tonight. If we have mid-table club lineup in first 5 games, and if we win it all, we are in for a fired-up season. Yeah. Boggles my mind that people are wondering what we do with Madueke if we get Olise. If we want to be a top 4 team, we need to act like it. Yep, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Yeah, it's weird. The whole squad building thing kind of does baffle me a little bit because, you want to have quality players. It's like Man City saying, I'm not going to sign Julian Alvarez because we've got Erling Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Or we're not going to sign Doku because we've got Grealish, Foden, and Bernardo Silva and whatnot. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. There's no denying that at all. Like, you have to have quality and depth. So this idea that we shouldn't be signing players because we've already got someone is just not true. It's just not true. And it's that sort of mentality which would cause us to not get back to the top of the table. It's great to have an embarrassment of options. It's absolutely fantastic to have an embarrassment of riches available. That's what you want at the end of the day. We want to be able to field pretty much 2 different teams and be able to be very competent with each team. That's what we should be doing, guys. That's exactly what we should be doing. But yeah, so I'm just kind of rabbiting on there. Again, little update, just another further little update on Olise from Pice's personal account. The key, let me just quickly here. Chelsea and Palace are talking again today. The key with Olise is, can Chelsea stop him waiting for other clubs to emerge? Interested in us, yes, but potentially others too. Chelsea have to secure this personal terms fast. Yeah. I mean, look, whether personal terms have or haven't been agreed, I think they're very close to being agreed. But yeah, look, we have to stop him waiting for other clubs. We've got to convince him that we're absolutely right. No, I'm not. They haven't got the money. They simply don't have the money. And by the time they've maybe raised the money by selling players, it's going to be too late by then. To be honest, I suspect Germany will win that game 3-1. That would be my prediction. If we win the league, it will be a madness. We're not going to win the league this season. I hope we get Michael Olise deal done. I don't think we will block him going to the Olympics. I'm really not sure. I can see Gallagher staying with a few minutes in the main squad, not signing a new contract and going on a free next season. Maybe. Let's wait and see. We must get back into Champions League next season. Agreed. Having too many good players for the same position will eventually create an unhappy dressing room. I'm not sure if I think that's true. No, I'm not sure I agree with that. Yeah, of course you don't want to have loads and loads and then some are sat on a bench and they're unhappy and whatnot. But you need strength and quality in each position. You really do. You really do need that. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why people are seemingly against that. I really struggle to understand that. But anyway, maybe that's a me problem. I'm not really sure, guys. Yeah, let's have a look. We need to get done. We need to get done. We cannot mess around or we will miss out on him. Yeah, no, I think we're absolutely on this and we're pushing hard. We're not going to get a here we go tomorrow. I'd be shocked if there was a here we go tomorrow. I mean, I'm quite busy work-wise tomorrow, so hopefully there's not a here we go, or hopefully there's a here we go when I'm not working. But yeah, let's wait and see. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much everything for today's show. I don't think there's anything further to go through on any of this. Let's just have a quick look on what's happening here. No, I don't think there. I don't think there is. I mean, obviously, no doubt Chelsea will be sending plenty of scouts to the Euros. There's bound to be players that will have breakthrough seasons and and maybe we'll be interested in them or breakout tournaments or whatever. So let's wait and yeah, let's see. Yes, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're moving on up, guys. We're moving on up. That's what we do around here. But yeah, people, thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Guys, enjoy the Euros tonight. First game of the tournament. If you're watching, enjoy the rest of your evening, doing whatever you're doing. On the way out, guys, please smash the likes up. We're on 115 likes. Let's get this to 130 likes on the way out. So smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here as well, guys. Run the subscribers up. Shirt giveaway details coming over the weekend. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Be subscribed for a chance to get your hands on a Chelsea shirt of your choice from the upcoming season when they release them. So yeah, smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, 4 or 5 p.m. UK time, maybe 4 p.m. Let's wait and see. But big up to everyone. Catch you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.